This is Rob Tebbutt for ID Boxing. Delighted to be joined by the juggernaut. We're here down in, where are we, Joe? Earlsfield. It's the first time I've been down here. How are you?
Yeah, very good. Yeah, it's good. Good to be back here. This is where I started my career. Back as a keep fitter, and yeah, it's great to like Sid Khan lets me use the gym, getting prepared for these fights when I'm back in the UK.
Had a look at the wall over there. There's a few blasts from the past over there. Any in particular photo from the back there that stands out to you? Any particular highlight memory?
I think there's a few in the ABAs and like early like Haringey Cups and WSB. There's a number of pictures there, but I'd have to have another look.
You have, of course, just returned from sunny old Las Vegas with your coach Ismail Salas. Obviously, just over there. You just finished your workout with him. How was Vegas? You're a seasoned Vegas goer now, aren't you?
Yeah, I've started my career out there, like professional career. I was out in LA and Vegas as well, so it's quite. I'm almost a Vegas local now. I stay off the strip and like live off the strip in like Airbnb kind of place, and then go to Salas Boxing Academy, Salas's gym, which is like usually like around 10-20 minutes, and then there's a UFC facility as well that I have access to, which is really great. So. Yeah, it's nice to have like hot weather when you're in training camp and being away from home as well.
You're used to that, of course, for the amateurs as well. You mentioned there the UFC Performance Institute. I saw you bump into a certain Deontay Wilder while you were over there as well.
Oh yeah, I think it's a good advertisement because I see everyone in there. Yeah, Deontay Wilder was there. He's a good guy. Nice to see him. There's Michael Hunter. There's a guy called Gio. There's also, who else was there? Oh, Charles Martin was there. Yeah, loads of different boxers. Loads of heavyweights actually in there now at the moment.
All the big faces out in Las Vegas. But anyway, let's talk about your opponent next weekend, Joyce-Parker, live and exclusive on BT Sports Box Office. Excited about the fight? We're finally there. There was a lot of negotiations and back and forth, but here we are a matter of days out.
Yeah, it was loads of time. Like, I mean, it was a blessing in disguise because I had the Hunter fight, but now it's time for the Parker fight, and so yeah, I've done a great training camp, and I'm really looking forward to it. I've done some great sparring with the guys over there. There's Johnny Fisher, Sol Dakers when I've been back here, so I'm in a good place mentally, physically, and I'm ready to do the business on Saturday night.
I spoke to Salas over there and he said to me that it was really beneficial for you to get the Hammer fight in because you'd had a little bit of a layoff and now it prepares you to go into the Parker fight. He said, though, that Parker was a much higher level. He said it's the most difficult opponent of your career. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, he's been to the top of the mountain being a ex-WBO champion, world champion, so he's very skillful and has been in the game a long time, so it's going to be the most, because he's the most rounded, he's got a bit of everything. He's very skillful. He can punch a bit. He can take a shot. Like, it's going to be a hard fight.
Have you noticed any difference with him? Obviously, with Andy Lee now, he was with Kevin Barry, somebody that I know that you would have run into in your time in Las Vegas, I'm sure. Have you noticed any difference in Joe Parker under Andy Lee?
Well, I saw the Chisora fight, which was his last performance, which was good. He looked strong, and gave Chisora some damaging punches and that, and. He seemed like bigger in size, and I think now I actually heard an interview where he said that he's now doing it for himself now instead of like before where he would have got the world title. He was going for his coach and that, but now he's doing it for himself.
I caught up with Joe a couple of weeks ago and he said about the rematch clause. He said that the rematch clause means that you and your team are not confident in you winning the fight. What are your thoughts on that?
No, it's just smart. It's not a smart business move. Like, it's a risky fight because I'm mandatory for the WBO title, so I could wait around and like fight someone else that's not quite at that level and wait, like an easy fight, just to keep busy until I get my shot in early next year and like maybe fight Usyk. But I want to stay prepared and also give some entertainment for the fans. So Joyce-Parker is the best fight out there. It's like number 1 versus number 2. I keep on banging on about that. So now it's finally happening. So tune in.
Very much looking forward to it. And as you said, you could have taken an easy touch and kind of waited for your position to be cashed in, but you're treating us all to a big fight on September the 24th. You've mentioned kind of the heavyweight division. It's a busy time in the heavyweight division. Tyson Fury, somebody that you know very well. Of course, you've shared the ring with him in sparring. He is now very much Team Parker for this, I think it's fair to say. What are your recollections of sharing the ring with Tyson? And do you think that he's giving Joe any little inside information on your style?
Well, yeah, Tyson Fury's got, his very knowledge of experience. He's been in the game a long time. He's, brought up as a fighter, and he'll be, like giving him pointers, and especially sharing the ring with him in Big Bear. Like we spent I think it was a couple of weeks and a lot of sparring. So yeah, we know each other like pretty well, and I always see him at the boxing and that. He's a good guy. So is Joyce-Parker's a good guy, but it's a fight game, and it gets serious when you're throwing punches at each other. So we're going to get it's going to be an exciting show.
What are your recollections of the sparring that you did with Tyson in Big Bear? It was in preparation for the first Wilder fight, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah. So it was that was in the Staples Centre where I actually boxed against Joe Hanks. Yeah, got a knockout there, and I watched. Oh, that was amazing. Yeah, amazing fight to watch, and Tyson Fury thought he did the business there.
You mentioned Oleksandr Usyk earlier. Of course, you are mandatory for the WBO title, one of the titles that he has just recently defended against Anthony Joshua. What did you make of the fight?
Yeah, it was a great fight. I enjoyed it. I thought there were some moments where Joshua was landing heavy shots, and he improved from his last fight. And Usyk obviously raised the levels as well, and he looked phenomenal. He was just outpointing him the whole all the rounds. It was he's a clear winner, and that is just a bit emotional time for Joshua. And I guess because if he hadn't have said anything, everyone would be singing his praise, but then he made that speech and that, which but if you actually look at the fight, it's an exciting fight, and I think everyone enjoyed it.
You boxed AJ in the ABAs, you boxed Usyk in the WSB. How much do you think they've both improved, and particularly Usyk, really? Obviously, you've got him in the crosshairs at the minute. How different do you think he is from the fighter that you fought years ago?
Well, when I fought Usyk, we're both have moved on a lot since then, and Usyk was fresh from the London Olympic gold medalist, and is a southpaw as well, and me still kind of novice. I think I had under 10 years in boxing, so it was a big step up for me. But I thought I landed a lot of my own firepower. I was just throwing shots and eating shots the whole time, and Usyk punches were kind of stingy and fast, but I was still troubling him, and it was an exciting fight. There was the whole of Ukraine there with the drums and everything, so it was a good event.
A lot of talk in the heavyweight division in a minute. It seems like one day it's Fury versus Usyk, one day it's Fury versus Joshua. Let's start with Fury versus Usyk. You've shared the ring with both of them, one sparring, one in the WSB. How does that fight go if it takes place?
I think that's an exciting fight, and especially with watching the Joshua fight and how Usyk's come along as well. So it's a risky fight for Fury, especially since he's hasn't been defeated yet. So I guess I always thinking about it before I saw the Joshua one. I thought it'd be an easy win for Fury. He's the bigger man, taller man, and can keep him at range. You can also switch and stuff. But Usyk showed me stuff that he could perhaps get inside his long range and just maybe outpoint him. I think it would be a good, but not outpoint. I don't know if he can win, but I think it's going to be a great fight, and I think he's going to definitely cause Fury some trouble. But yeah, it could go either way. It's heavyweight boxing.
It certainly is. And you mentioned there earlier about it could be Fury Usyk, could be Fury Joshua. I'm sure it's probably going to change in the course of this interview. But if Fury and Joshua box on December the 3rd, which it seems as though may be the case, how does that fight go in your opinion?
Joshua versus Fury. I always thought Joshua would beat Fury originally, but now you can just see the levels and how mobile and agile, and also the firepower that Fury has as well. But yeah, again, it's heavyweight boxing, and it'll be an exciting fight. But I can see Fury as a clear winner, I think, unless Joshua can hit him with a load of shots and he stays down. But it's unlikely.
Okay, well, final one from me. As I said, I was with Joyce-Parker a couple of weeks ago. I asked him for his best WWE tribute into the camera, calling out Joe Joyce. Now I'm going to ask you for the same. What message have you got for Joyce-Parker ahead of Joyce versus Parker on BT Sport box office September the 24th? I want you to look into that camera there and I want you to scare him, Joe.
Joshua-Parker, I'm knocking you out, and you know I am. So anyway, but we'll just let's do the talking in the ring, and let our fist do the talking, and my fist is going in your face.
There we go. Two nice men talking smack. Gotta love it. Thanks very much, Joe. Always a pleasure catching up with you. Look forward to seeing you in action against Joyce-Parker on September the 24th.
Yeah, you're welcome.